Amazing Indians continues its journey to explore more stories of passion, dedication, and accomplishment. This week we bring you stories of three extraordinary achievers, people who are truly inspiring. Starting from a small village in Andhra Pradesh, she established her own company in the US. Our global Indian, Jyoti Reddy, shares her struggles, mission, and vision. A toy is a promise of joy for every child. Providing toys to deprived children is our urban crusader Shweta Chari and her initiative Toy Bank. Battling HIV for the past 18 years, our unstoppable Indian Mahantesh Mali established Makkaladham, an abode for children affected by the disease. A journey that began in a nondescript village of Andhra Pradesh is today a radiant account of a life less ordinary. Jyoti Reddy in the past 23 years has scripted an extraordinary success story that began from an orphanage in Warangal.
Though my parents are alive, but due to poverty, they joined into orphanage home like a motherless child. So, that is my fortunate and my unfortunate too, because leaving parents and living alone with other children who are orphans, it was kind of big pain, but I went through that.
After a poverty-stricken childhood, Jyoti was married off to a distant relative at the age of 16. And things took a turn for the worse.
Then I need to work for fields and paddy works and all agriculture work. Though I did not know, but I learnt everything, with the labor. And they taught me, I learnt, I worked, and earning for a day for 5 rupees. And I got a first child in 17th year of my age, and the second child 18th year of my age, and I was unable to take care of them, and my health did not support, as well as my economy did not support. I used to think about my life was an orphan and my kids. Okay, there is a fighting in my heart and mind every minute, how to get out from this life. Came from village Hanamkunda, which is a town. I worked in the night for stitching, and again I worked as a librarian, which is a private job, and I went to school again. I studied a bachelor degree. I learned craft course. I fight for a teacher job, and then I got a teacher job, government teacher, and then I went to school for masters in Kakatiya University. I'm done with the masters with the Kakatiya University, which is a social work and public administration, and I was doing PhD. Unfortunately, it is undergoing till today because of America journey. While I was working as a government teacher, there is opportunity for USA. That is, one of my cousins, she came to India for vacation, and she was staying with me for 30 days, and I looked her lifestyle, and I looked her kids' lifestyle. When I saw her, right, I felt like, why can't I do this?
Settled comfortably in Phoenix, Jyoti is now a proud owner of her own company with an annual turnover of $5 million.
Are you feeling comfortable with us and how you started working with the software company ICSA, which is located in South Carolina. I worked for that company 6 months, and while working with the company, I got other opportunity from ICSA, which is located in Virginia. While I was working with other people, I just got all knowledge how to do the business in software side. Okay, I felt it to start myself, and I started a company in 2001 October. I come back and started working on that from January 2002. God's grace, it is growing like a baby, step by step.
Taking lessons from her turbulent childhood, Jyoti has made it her life's mission to empower orphans. From spending quality time to fighting for their rights, Jyoti's selfless love for these children draw her back to India each year.
When I was thinking about homeland in the sense, I just remember the orphans because I raised in the orphans, and they are in need of support from our people or from somebody else, because there is no reservation for orphans so far. That's what I started working behalf of orphans, and I was supporting them. As many ways I have, financially, sometimes, gifts, and sometimes spending time, and sometimes talking to them. And definitely, behalf of orphans, we represented letters to central government for their rights. If they are studying well, sometimes they are getting benefits from the government, but unable to get them. They need some identification from the government. That's why. Behalf of orphans, I love to fight with the government, and we submitted so many letters so far. Definitely, until we get something from for the orphans, I would like to be a part of the orphanage groups wherever, all over nationwide.
With a vision to make every woman independent, Jyoti has also associated herself with the cause of women empowerment.
My vision for women, especially rural area, and my focus on 18 to 35 years old, definitely every woman need to be, very strong and independent. If the woman is strong and the woman is educated and the woman is working, then, the family is, definitely grow like anything, If father educate, only, the family is going to get welfare, If mother educate, the society is going to be in a welfare.
From an orphanage to the boardroom of her own enterprise, Jyoti Reddy's life has come full circle. Focused on her goal to empower others like her, this global Indian is an epitome of limitless zeal. India has the world's largest child population at over 400 million. Sadly, over 4 lakh of these children are living on streets. Deprived of necessities like food and shelter, they still love to play. Introducing these underprivileged young ones to a magical world is this woman, Shweta Chari, who dreams of an India in which every tiny hand holds a toy.
And I realized that these kids don't have access to play. They want to play, they have some toys scattered around, but there's nothing concrete. And so I took a survey of some of the NGOs, and I realized that bang on, let's collect some toys and distribute them. So it really started off as an ad hoc idea.
An idea that struck this electronics engineer during her college days has flourished into a bank which collects and distributes toys, propagating the right to play.
We've seen children whose anger levels have fallen They have become calmer as people, less abusive. They are paying more attention in their studies. We've seen that in government schools where we work, the influx, the number of children coming to school has increased. Play centers where we set up libraries, the number of children attending these has increased. And the kids want to play, simply put. So we've seen really dramatic results of this.
Encouraging privileged children to share their precious belongings with less fortunate kids is also Shweta's way of bridging the gap that exists in society.
गेम्स खेली चलने वाली और नई नई पोएम सीखी मुझे बहुत खूब मजा आया। आज हमने ड्राइंग बनाने सीखी, पोएम सीखी।
Today, Toy Bank reaches out to over 45,000 children in 5 cities by collaborating with various NGOs.
We only work in partnership with NGOs, other organizations, government schools and government hospitals. We do a pre-assessment. So clearly if you give a hungry child a toy, you're not really solving a problem. So we want to make sure that this child has a definite, the food part is taken care of, there's basic nutrition and has access to basic form of education. And then Toy Bank comes into picture. We work with a lot of ashram shalas in the rural areas. These are children who come from below poverty line. So we set up a massive toy libraries for them. We buy them. They are brand new. So we go to a wholesale market and purchase them.
Any NGO which actually stresses on play curriculum, along with the academics and the basic essentials for a child, we actually support those NGOs and tell them, we will give you the toys, put the play curriculum in your schedule and help the children get what they lost in their childhood.
For Delhi-based NGO Protsahan, joining hands with Toy Bank has helped them in their objective of providing underprivileged children creative platforms of learning and self-expression.
Playing is such an integral part of a child's life or just childhood, especially when a lot of kids come here. Most of them are kids who have gone through sex abuse from their own parents, drug abuse to an extent that they forget where they've come from. The first immediate connect is a kid when he comes to a center like Protsahan, he does not or she does not want to get in touch with K, K, G, 1, 2, 3 and ABCDs. So when toys come in, it's this immediate connect that a kid has with something like a stuffed toy, something like a rail gadi, something like a robot, and that's where the playful mood sets in. And then we come up with art through toys or design through toys.
Helping Toy Bank achieve these dramatic results are the individual volunteers. Apart from collecting and distributing toys, these 1,000 volunteers devise innovative ways of playing with children.
With children, basically, I connect through music and through a lot of other activities, which involves a lot of action songs, which involves a lot of poetry and storytelling activities, and that's what they remember and carry over all the time.
This is what I otherwise look like. But as soon as I wear the nose and get into a makeup, I know there are at least 10 people going to laugh and smile.
A teddy bear to snuggle up with, a puzzle to challenge a young mind, a toy car to race with. The simple gesture of donating toys is triggering smiles across India. On the other side of the break, find out about Mahantesh Mali and his efforts to ensure a safe and normal childhood for orphans affected by HIV/AIDS. Running, skipping, playing, facing each new day with an infectious smile. It's tough to imagine that all these children were born sick, having acquired HIV in their mother's womb. Infusing positivity into the lives of these HIV-positive children is this man, Mahantesh Mali, who started the orphanage Makkaladham. With an aim to help HIV-infected children reduce their sufferings and multiply their joy, Mahantesh started the orphanage after he lost everything he cherished to the dreaded virus.
जो HIV पहला रिपोर्ट आता है, उनका सोच रहता है मैं आत्महत्या करके लूँगा। मेरा भी सोच वैसा ही था, मैं भी वही सोचा था। रेलवे ट्रैक हो गया था मरने के लिए। मेरा ही खुद घर में ही मेरे को आए, मेरा माँ बाप मेरे को अच्छा देखा नहीं, मालूम हुआ। मैं और मेरा औरत बाहर ही रहा और मेरा भाई लोग भी मेरा छोड़ दिया, लेकिन इनको बचाने का काम हमारा है, इनको रहने तक खुश रखने का।
With his wife's support, who too is suffering from HIV, Mahantesh slowly fought back and decided to help others live with dignity as well. In 2008, Makkaladham, an orphanage for the HIV children, found its foundation, and it's given these orphaned and abandoned children a new lease of life.
बहुत ही हमको प्यार से रखते हैं, पढ़ाई के लिए बुक्स वगैरह देते हैं, क्या मांगा है वो सब देते हैं हमको। वो बहुत अच्छे हैं, माँ बाप की कभी याद नहीं आने देते हैं।
माँ बाप नहीं रहे सो बच्चों को हम माँ बाप का प्यार दे रहे हैं, थोड़ा रिलीफ मिलता है। हम भी पॉजिटिव है यार, वो मेरा पॉजिटिव स्टेटस मैं भूलती हूँ इनके साथ खेलते वक्त और पढ़ाई कराते वक्त।
With the right medication and support, these children can hope to achieve adulthood. But despite the best efforts by Mahantesh and his team to create awareness, these children still face stigma and get ostracized.
अभी भी फिलहाल आंगनवाड़ी इसमें हमारा बच्चा अलग ही बैठता है। कितना भी हम अवेयरनेस किया, कितना भी समझाया, तो भी हाँ करके बोलता है। बाद में वो बच्चे को अलग खाना, अलग बिठाने का ऐसा करता है। मैडम चैलेंजेस HIV लोगों के लिए हजार ही रहता है। सॉल्व होता है, लेट होके सॉल्व होता है। पहला चैलेंजेस ये बच्चे के लिए हमको रहने के लिए जगह नहीं है, बिल्डिंग नहीं है मैडम। अभी जो देखा है वो रेंट पर है हम लोग। बाद में ये इसके से तबीयत खराब होता है और जो भी है गवर्नमेंट में सब मेडिसिन नहीं मिलेगा मैडम, बाहर से लेना पड़ेगा हमको।
With little aid from the government, meeting the financial requirement for Makkaladham is his biggest challenge.
गवर्नमेंट का कुछ नहीं है मैडम अभी तक। गवर्नमेंट देखता रहे, आया है बड़े लोग, राजकारणी लोग आया है, बड़े बड़े लोग आया है, सिर्फ एडवर्टाइजमेंट लेके गया। हमारा कुछ मदद के लिए कुछ नहीं है। आश्वासन, भरोसा दिया, अभी तक 4 साल तक भरोसा देखा है।
The only silver lining comes from individual donors who are helping Mahantesh in his mission to rescue those discarded by all.
भगवान अच्छा किया तो बड़े के लिए भी हॉस्टल बनूंगा, और भी एक मेरा मिशन है। और लास्ट स्टेज में जो मरने को आता है लास्ट स्टेज में, उनको एक आश्रम बनाने का है मेरे को।
One of the harshest effects of the AIDS epidemic is the number of orphans it has created. But for these children at Makkaladham, there is hope. They have learned to hold each other's hand and show a brave face to a disease that has no face of its own. Join us next week as we bring you 3 very inspiring, amazing Indians. Meet Anita and Kalyan Paul, who have given rural communities in the hills of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh a new identity. Find out about Dr. Bharat Vatwani and his rehabilitation home, Shraddha. And we feature 10-year-old Arushi Bhatnagar, who holds the Guinness World Record for being the youngest professional artist ever.